Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. It is hump day, I think. Is it Thursday? Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Hump day. Get out there and do the humping. You guys know what you're supposed to do. Make babies and all that good stuff. Only responsibly. Responsibly. Otherwise, use a condom. How are you guys? Missed you last night. I was in bed. We'll just leave it at that. And not the fun kind, not the humpy hump kind, but I was just in bed. And here we are. We're going to talk about some stuff. I don't have a major story that I really wanted to talk about, just a few things that were on my mind, including the Megyn Kelly thing that I have in the title. Megyn Kelly was on with John Stossel. It's a very interesting interview. Except can we talk about John Stossel for just a minute? I've been a fan of Stossel for a while. I like his in-depth reporting. I like his challenging reporting. When he takes one of the sacred cows and just skewers the shit out of it. But John Stossel's getting old. John Stossel, he's not a spring chicken anymore. And I was looking at him in this interview. He's got like bald spots in his beard and bald spots in his hair, which he's still trying to spike up like a young kid. I have a feeling that's how Phil DeFranco is going to be at his age. Still trying to have that kid's, look how cool I am, spiky hair. But instead, he just comes off looking like an old chicken. He looks like a chicken that is like moments away from just keeling over. John, clean up your neck and stop trying to spike your hair. It looks ridiculous. But the interview itself was interesting because both of these people have been in the let's call it legacy media, right? Legacy media, the real media. The fucking assholes who lie to you on a constant basis and then be like, I don't know why you guys don't trust. Why do you call us fake news? Why do you say that we don't tell the truth? Because you don't. You're lying shitheads, and we all know it. But Megyn had an interesting journey because she starts out as a lawyer who comes on and talks about stuff, and then they give her own show, and she blows up. She becomes this massive person on Fox News, following was it following or leading Sean Hannity? It was following Hannity, right? Because it went at the time. It was shit. I can't think of his name. Bill O'Reilly. There it is. And then Hannity, and then her. And then she had the big blow up where she asked Donald Trump about talking mean to women. And can we discuss that for just a minute? Can we discuss just for a minute how Donald Trump, people get shitty about this, and this comes up in the interview actually, except for they never quite hit on the right part. Megyn Kelly says that Donald Trump just really likes the fight. He likes a good story, and that he actually thought that was a good story that was, just generating buzz for both of them. And that's part of it. But exactly, Zombie Teddy just said it. Trump is mean to everyone. If you're on his shit list, he's going to talk shit to you. He's going to insult your wife and your father and you personally. He's going to call you a fat, ugly woman. He is indiscriminate in how he insults people. But then they take that and the Megyn Kelly question in the debate from 2016, it's to frame it like, why are you so mean to women? Why are you so mean to women? And it was a bullshit question at the time. It's still a bullshit question. It's like, you guys know the story. Well, he made fun of a retard. The guy was handicapped, right? He made fun of a handicapped person in the exact same way that he's made fun of countless people. But because it was this person you're never supposed to insult, it became, oh, he's mean to these people. Thing with the Gold Star families. And look, I have respect for these people, believe me. But it doesn't make you above reproach. Same thing with John McCain. Oh, he's a war hero. Doesn't make you above reproach. And when it comes to Trump, he will insult anything he can that he thinks might get to you. And instead of people just acknowledging that about the man, it's always got to be, oh, he's racist. He's so sexist. He's mean to the cripples. He's fuck you. No, he's not. He's just a guy who insults people. That is how he deals with shit. I can relate. I really can. But we've become such a sensitive society that it can't be that. If you're going to insult anybody, they better be well, let's be honest, a healthy straight white male. Because otherwise, there's going to be somebody who's going to come out and give you an ism or a phobia that you just don't like gay people. No, that specific person is an asshole. How about that? How about that? Why can't we have that anymore? Well, because we've killed it. You can't even do it in comedy anymore because, oh my God, Dave Chappelle hates the trans people. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's a comedian who makes jokes. But anyway, in this interview, she talks about her early life and how she was bullied as a kid. Oh, it's fucking horrible to hear. I don't even really want to get into it, but apparently when she was younger, there was a group of kids, mean girls, and they treated her like garbage. And that's why she's anti-bully. I can get that. I don't really know what that adds to the story though. Maybe who it made her who she is today, I guess. The weird part, you know what I found really weird about this interview? She left Fox News on, I mean, it wasn't the worst of terms, but it wasn't the greatest either. She was part of the whole Ailes thing because Ailes apparently tried to bang her. Duh. He had sexually harassed her. I don't mean to downplay sexual harassment, but I would probably sexually harass Megyn Kelly if she worked for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's a cute chick. Okay, I wouldn't do that, but I can understand it. Does that make sense? I certainly understand the urge. But anyway, even with all that went on between her and Fox News and Ailes and all this, she doesn't speak really badly about them. She says that while they had their biases, and if you I don't know what's that, stepped out of line. This is my wording, not her. But if you stepped out of the narrative that they preferred, you might get a call from somebody, hey, not that. Hey, you might be going the wrong direction there, but they wouldn't actually tell you to stop. And then she talks about working at NBC. Megyn Kelly went over to NBC, she says, so that she could spend more time with her kids, which makes sense. She said at this point, her kids were going into school, and with her working the late shift at Fox News, she was leaving for work when they were getting home from school, so she didn't see two of her children all day long. So she goes over to NBC, where she gets a morning show. And she said she wanted to do like an Oprah kind of show. Stop trying to be Oprah, all right? There's never going to be another Oprah. You can have, you at best, you're going to be Ricky Lake, all right? At best. But anyway, she goes over there to have this show, and she has this one conversation where they're talking about blackface. And she says, when I was a kid, a black child could put on white makeup and a white child could put on black makeup if it was within the character of their Halloween costume. Why can't we do that? And the world lost its fucking mind. Well, the United States lost its fucking mind. Oh my God, you stood up for blackface. What the fuck is wrong with you? How can you not know what blackface is? Well, technically what she described is not blackface. And we've gotten into that on this show many times. Blackface is not putting on makeup so that you look like a character that is black. That is not blackface. Blackface is putting on ridiculously over-the-top makeup and acting like a goddamn fool as a way to insult black people. Those are two different things. Two entirely different things. One is a costume. The other one is racist. And look, Tailfin says it's funny, deal with it. Hey, if you find it funny, that's fine. I mean, humor is subjective, but it is clearly racist what they were doing back in the day. And she just asked the question real quick. Hey, Jack, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How you doing?
Let's not talk about that.
Just
chatting today. I was talking about Megyn Kelly was on John Stossel. There's a 50-minute interview over on John Stossel's YouTube channel. Check it out if you guys get a chance. It's a pretty good interview, Jack. But we're talking right now specifically about why she got fired from NBC. And it was for asking whether or not it's racist for people to dress up in, I'm using their words, blackface or whiteface for Halloween.
Oh, yeah, the cultural appropriation nonsense.
Well, this one was specifically, no, it's blackface. It's racist.
I
And
remember that. Yeah.
yeah, and so she gets in trouble for it. And the next day she comes out with an apology saying that she didn't understand what a horrible thing it was at the time.
Should understand how people are such pussies.
Well, that's the real answer. But she says, because John Stossel goes, what about that apology? That did not sound like you. And she said this, well, I did not understand the kind of hate. I'm paraphrasing a little here, but the kind of hate that I was going to get for just asking that simple question. And I was overwhelmed, so I did what they told me to do.
Yeah. That's kind of a normal response, actually. You're not used to getting shit on by a bunch of internet retards and crybabies.
Well, and the thing is with this, it wasn't just the internet. Everybody came after this woman. This was on every major news channel. Everybody ran stories about, oh my God, she supported blackface. And then she comes out with the apology, and they were like, no, this isn't a good enough apology. How could she not know blackface was bad in 2019 or whatever the fuck it was? Her apology wasn't see, this is why people say never apologize, because it's never going to be enough. It never is. But she was absolutely right. And this one woman that they show on there, because they show little clips of, the people responding to this show. How could she not know what blackface is? Like, bitch, you don't know what blackface is.
Yeah, because she wasn't talking about blackface. They've broadened the definition of what blackface is so much, it's pretty much meaningless.
Yeah, even somebody mentioned Trudeau a moment ago. Even what Trudeau did is not actually blackface, at least from what we know, because we don't know if he was, being a stereotype or something like that.
Yeah.
But just in the picture, it's not being. Now, Ralph Northam, that picture's absolutely fucking blackface.
Yeah, that was intended to be a caricature, which is more what blackface is.
Yeah, it's meant to make black people look retarded. And what she suggested wasn't blackface. So she gets all this pressure, and she finally, she leaves there. She's now, Jack, her show is blowing up. She's doing really good numbers, and her and Stossel both are like, it's really nice working for ourselves because we don't have anybody we have to answer to.
Yeah. And to be fair, they're both pretty well off, so it really doesn't matter a whole lot. Their success or failure is not a huge deal to them, so they don't have to worry about that aspect of it.
Liber says minstrel. Yes, minstrel shows, that's where the blackface, the whole thing comes from. Or, the little thing that was on the little, what the hell is it called? A tchotchke, something like that Elizabeth Warren has sitting up on her shelf.
Oh, gollywog?
Have you seen that thing? Yeah, no, she's got a little blackface caricature up on her shelf in her kitchen.
That's probably a gollywog. They were popular little dolls around a little before Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty bad. But she got away with it because she's Indian.
Yeah, Indian.
Yeah, she was talking about working at the different major news areas, and she says this is a saying apparently behind the scenes at these major networks. ABC will stab you in the front. CBS will stab you in the back. NBC, you won't even realize they stabbed you till you look down and realize you're bleeding.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. That sounds about right, though. From what
yeah, absolutely.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much. Hang on, let me get this over here. Least professional monkey on the internet. Bear, what's up, my friend? I miss you. I hope you're well. Let's see. Thank you, Keldrig. I'm kind of a terrible person, so instead of apologizing, I might have just posted a picture of someone in blackface, probably Northam. Yeah, look, I understand. This is a woman who's trying, she has a career. She's trying to keep her career. And while she'd gotten a lot of hate over like the Trump stuff, I don't think you guys understand what it's like when everybody in the press comes at someone.
Yeah, it's life ruination.
The entirety of national media was out there trying to tear this woman down because she dared say it's okay to dress in a costume.
At worst, they made her out to be a racist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This
And
horrible racist white woman.
that'll destroy your career in a second.
This one woman that they show in the clips, Jack, even goes, I bet all of Megyn's friends are just white. Like, based on what? Based on what? Because she had a perfectly reasonable opinion? This is Kyle. Thank you. No apology will ever be enough. You could commit seppuku in front of them, and they'd probably still demand your kids do the same. Well, here's the thing. Jack, you know what a struggle session is?
Yes, I do.
Jack, who's famous for the struggle sessions?
The communists.
And why do they do that?
Chinese. To make sure you fall in line.
Make sure you toe that line and do not deviate, because if you do, then, well, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
And they look this up if you guys are unfamiliar. If you've heard the term struggle session and don't know what it actually is, they would bring you into a room and just berate you into giving in to their side and admitting that you were wrong. Hi, Nuts. How are you, sweetheart?
They also did public ones where
yes,
they'd confront people at their jobs or restaurants, things like that, and just wave the little red book in front of you.
Yep. Make sure you say what you're supposed to say.
Yeah,
and it's really sad.
It's sadly very effective too.
Well, yeah, because I mean, when you have everybody coming down on you, it takes a strong person to still hold to your values.
Yeah. A strong person that would be good in a work camp.
And frankly, most people are not that strong.
Very true.
Most people are like, okay, you win. I'm done. Whatever you need me to say, I'll say it. If you just leave me alone, please just leave me alone.
The average person would be annihilated by what they did to Megyn Kelly. Thankfully, she had a good contract and had millions of dollars paid out to her when they canceled the contract. Plus, she already had money from a successful book before she left Fox. And her husband's a famous writer.
Yeah, she had fuck you money at that point.
Yeah.
And part of it was the contract leaving NBC. That's what gave her the fuck you money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. She got like, what, 24 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was enough money that didn't matter, but it does show that she really is passionate about broadcasting because she went and did a podcast, which with the reputation NBC gave her, could have gone either way.
Well, she talked about, she had Robert Kennedy Jr. on. I don't know if you guys know who Robert Kennedy Jr. is. He is most famous these days for being an anti-vaxxer, and not just anti-mRNA. He is like anti-vax total. Yeah. He's one of these people who believes that autism is caused by vaccines. And she had him on for a 4-hour interview, apparently, Jack.
Wow.
And she reached out to YouTube and she told it, because John asked her, like, how did you get away with this? And she goes, I reached out to my contact at YouTube, because apparently she has one, and said, look, we're doing this. And they said, well, we'll probably slap a little bar at the bottom talking about vaccines. And she went, I can deal with that. And so she ran the story. There's so many people out there on YouTube. I just want a little aside here, who are afraid to use certain words, who are afraid to talk about certain subjects because, oh no, I might get demonetized. I might get the little warning bar at the bottom telling people to go elsewhere. And yeah, I mean, it can hurt your channel a little bit to have those things, but not the way that people treat it, man. And for the record, I've done entire videos. I've done some shows where I did not curse much. And I've done entire videos where I didn't swear at all, Jack, just to test it. You know what happened? I still got the yellow circle. So my philosophy is fuck it. We still have to stay within certain rules that we do know, but I'm not going to worry about the little yellow circle, because our audience is what keeps us going, Jack.
Yeah, the donations are vastly more important than ad revenue, sadly.
Yep. So if Susan doesn't allow ads on my shit, that just hurts her, because she doesn't get paid unless we do.
Yeah.
That's how it works. They take half of that's what the YouTube payment is. It's half of the ad value. And if we don't get paid, they don't get paid. So fuck her. Keep doing it, Susan. Keep hurting us. Keep hurting us, baby. Why you want to hurt us so bad? Why you want to treat me so bad?
I was gonna go with "Hurts So Good" by John Mellencamp.
Hurt so the most underrated song in Footloose, honestly.
Ugh, God,
What?
it's probably the least gay.
When Ariel's out on there, out on the floor dancing to "Hurt So Good." Oh, damn. I love that scene. I may have paused that once or twice as a child.
Because it wasn't gay enough. You're like, okay, just get through it. There's just a woman dancing. You can do this.
Like Fight Club, you're not allowed to bring up gay movies. Sorry. See that? Fight Club wins the gay argument every time.
No, I don't understand how you think that's a gay movie.
It was written by a gay dude.
I don't care. That doesn't make it a gay
About
movie.
half-naked men hitting each other in private. It's almost as gay as Jackass.
Well, Jackass is really gay.
Really gay.
But it's way gayer than Fight Club.
How dare you?
Way gayer.
The only thing Fight Club is missing to make it the perfect gay movie is like Donna Summer's soundtrack.
That might have made the movie more fun, honestly.
Anyhow, how do we always get on gay movies, man?
I don't know. It's just sort of your hair weird. Dictates that.
Anyhow, so yeah, if you guys get a chance to watch the interview, I really do recommend it. And they don't go real deep into, the behind the scenes crap. It's very generally speaking. But it was interesting to me that not only did Megyn Kelly not hold any grudge against Donald Trump, she actually kind of defends him. She actually really defends him. And same thing with Ailes. I mean, she doesn't really defend him as much, but there's like no anger or grudge in her voice when she's talking about these people. And these are both people who, let's be honest, caused a lot of shit for her.
Well, she kind of started it with Trump, and that blew up in her fucking face multiple times.
Well, yeah, you weren't here for this. When she talks about it, Jack, she's come to understand that for Trump, it wasn't actually him hating her, that he actually kind of enjoyed all of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's what Trump does.
Yeah. You create a little bit of an animosity, and it boosts ratings.
Yeah, exactly. The drama for the ratings is a great way to put it.
Yeah, because he learned that from wrestling. Like, he used to do all the appearances on wrestling, and he figured all that shit out. It worked great on The Apprentice too.
She went and talked to him apparently at Trump Tower, and she goes, "Look, could you please just stop?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And it was over. That was it. And apparently,
it's not personal to him; it's business.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really interesting watching her after all of that blew up. Watch the part when she talks about Donald Trump. There's no hate there for the man. It's almost like she's like, I get it. I understand.
Well, I think
she didn't like it.
Sorry.
I was gonna say she didn't like it when it was happening to her, but she understands it now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is she was taking it personal when it wasn't, and she couldn't get past that. And I think once she realized it wasn't personal and it was just a business entertainment thing, it's kind of hard to be mad about that because you're like, okay, yeah, it is good for business to have that for your brand, to have an enemy.
Well, you have all these people now who are like, oh, Trump insulted Ted Cruz's wife and his, yeah, and he was not personal even with Ted Cruz. I'm like, oh, and you worked with the man after he insulted. Look, I get being mad if he insulted my wife. We'd have words about it, but I still understand the idea of just having insults for ratings.
Yeah.
Some of my best rated shows have been ones where I have idiots on to talk to.
I feel judged.
No, not.
Oh.
The argument with Eufio, that one was huge, and I made a shit ton of money. Talking to an idiot has called me horrible shit.
That was one of the funniest fucking things where you were like, "Are you drunk?" And Sinatra's just laughing.
I asked him how often he's drunk when he tweets. Let's be.
Yeah, that clip is still one of my favorite all time.
Hunter was actually another good one, and again, awesome for donations. anytime I bring a moron on, and I've never done it for that reason. If I did, we'd have so many more of those.
Yeah.
But every time I have an idiot on to talk to, things go very, very well.
We're
People
not
like
talking about
some
me
drama.
again, right?
No, not you, not you.
Oh, okay.
People like some drama in their lives, especially if they're not directly involved with it. Anyway, let's talk about Fauci real quick.
Okay.
Unless there's anything you want to say. I know you haven't seen the interview.
No, I haven't been online much today.
Did you know that Fauci's wife, and I only found this out a little while ago, Fauci's wife is the head of bioethics at the NIH?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I think you did and you forgot, because I'm pretty sure we talked about that before.
Maybe you did it on your show, because I'm positive I've never heard that.
Yeah, that was one of the big sticking points, is his wife is his boss basically on ethics.
Yeah,
so if she's just as much of a psychopath as he seems to be, then yeah.
Yeah, his wife is the one who determined whether or not what he's doing is ethical.
Yeah, she had no problem with little beautiful puppies getting their faces chewed off.
Yeah, that's it. His wife helped it make that determination. Yeah, sure. Tailfin, no conflict of interest there, I'm sure. Right? Now, look, I will be honest, Jack. If you want somebody to put me in check, my wife is probably the best person to do it.
Yeah, but if your wife is kind of on board with it, you know.
My wife is also perfectly willing to let me do a show like this and not put any check on what I say or anything. She doesn't try to check me. And if it was her job to do so, it would just, that's weird. Especially when we're talking about something like this, where we've seen horrible shit. We have seen this man go up there in 2012 and be like, look, I would really like to do gain of function research. It's really good. I think the risk is outweighed by the reward. By the way, it's not. This is a man who said that and was shut down, and yet somehow we still funded this shit overseas, which would have had to go through his wife.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
the puppy thing, the puppy thing you just talked about, where we have rules in this country about being cruel to animals, and they took it to an extreme that's not even animal cruelty. That's just evil what they did to those puppies.
Oh, it was absolutely evil. Torturing puppies for your own sick pleasure under the guise of education. No, that's evil under any rubric. I don't know how anybody doesn't think it is unless they're psycho.
Oh, I said it wrong, Dangerous. The reward outweighs the risk. That this lady is the one that's letting him get away with it? Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's not a conflict of interest at all. No, how could it be? No. But real quick, thank you, Keldrick. I wasn't there for the UFO one, but the Hunter show was amazing. Well, Hunter's a pretty big spurg and has no idea what he's talking about or the long-term ramifications of basically legitimizing kid diddlers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was... I hadn't even read any of the articles we were talking about, and I think I did an okay job making him look like a dumbass, and Monkey was just crushing the shit out of him. He had no real arguments. The guy's in spurg.
What the fuck could you have learned by torturing dogs? Okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm sorry. This is fucking nasty, okay? What they did is they took dogs and they pinned them to the ground so they couldn't defend themselves at all. And they poured a whole bunch of bugs that eat these dogs that it's some kind of tick or something like that, a beetle, I think it was. And they left them there and let the beetles or bugs, whatever kind of bug it was, eat their faces while they were alive. Killed them by eating their face. There's pictures. It's disgusting. I do not recommend you go look it up. And what they claim they were doing, sandflies. Thank you. What they claim they were doing was making a medicine to keep the bugs off the dogs. Instead of, giving the dogs, some of the medicine and then seeing if the sandflies stayed away from them, they pinned them to the ground and poured these bugs on top of them and just let them get eaten to death. Face first. So they could see if medicine works. Yeah. It's fucking horrible. Fauci belongs in prison. But don't worry, we didn't do it. We here in the United States didn't do it. Oh yeah, and they cut their vocal cords so they didn't have to hear the dogs make noise. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
forgot
the
that
dogs
part.
were
Thank you, Roger.
conscious when it happened.
Yep, they were awake. It's fucking horrible, but don't worry. We didn't do it here. So what they did is gave money to people overseas to do it. Same thing with the gain of function with COVID. It's not legal here in the United States. So what do? They give it to Echo Labs, who then gives it to the Wuhan COVID lab. But don't worry, none of your money went to them actually doing gain of function on COVID. No. There's no chance that happened. Nope. Oh, I mean, it could have happened, but we don't think it did. Well, maybe it happened. It's so funny watching Fauci dodge this shit as more and more information comes out. Because originally it was absolutely not. We didn't even give money to these people. What are you talking about? And like, actually gave it to this lab so that they could give it to them. Well, I mean, but it didn't go to the COVID. What the fuck are you talking about? How do you know that? How do you, even if I took you at your word on that stupid shit, how the fuck can you know that it didn't go to that? Did you go over there?
No. I bet he did go over there, and I bet that'll come out eventually too.
We did not. It's much like the Ukrainian money. When we give other countries money, we don't have a really good way of auditing to make sure it goes where we say it needs to go. Yeah. They just get the money. They can spend it however the fuck they want. And they do, Jack. They spend it on all kinds of shit. You know, like killing puppies.
Creating bioweapons.
It is amazing that puppy story has dropped out of the news, and it was only news for like a day. And then like, oh yeah, people like puppies much more than they like the magical terror gnome. We better get this story out of the fucking news quick.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can't have St. Fauci looking bad. I mean, they may not make candles of him anymore.
Indeed. Danger says the funding didn't go to abortion. How do you know? Right. Well, they do that with Planned Parenthood. Like, well, we didn't give them money for abortions. Well, didn't it allow the other money to go to abortions? I mean, you freed up other money for them. Absolutely. If you give money to something, whether you like it or not, you are giving them money for everything they do. There's no way for you to go, no, my money only went here. No, motherfucker. It goes to their general pool. Anyway. Yeah, so Fauci's wife is the one who's out there deciding whether or not that prick is allowed to do the horrible shit he does. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that at all, Jack. Nothing wrong with that's perfectly on the up and up. Why would anybody worry about something like that? Jack, you sent me something that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Did you like that?
Yeah. I didn't read the full thread about it. I just the top part.
Well, it's like 40 posts, so.
I don't know if I can. I'm on my daytime internet here, so I'll put it on the screen. If we get too wonky with the audio, I'll turn it off. Google currently employs at least 165 people in high-ranking positions from the intelligence community.
What?
Google's trust and safety team is managed by 3 ex-CIA agents who control misinformation and hate speech.
Well, makes a lot impossible.
Makes a lot more sense why we got hit with that strike for that one video.
Yeah.
Here's the breakdown. 27 former CIA, and remember, once you're in the agency, you never leave the agency. 52 FBI agents, 30 NSA, 50 from the DHS, and 6 from the Director of National Intelligence. For fuck's sake. I need somebody at one of these companies to explain to me. This is like Hunter Biden going to work for Burisma. What is it about working for the CIA that makes them qualified to run your trust and safety team?
They're good at silencing people,
I guess. I mean, are you looking to invade Cuba? What the fuck are we doing here? That's a lot of people. 165.
Yeah.
And this is just Google. I've been telling you guys, it's not just Twitter. And I know you guys aren't doubting me on that. But this is the first look we're seeing at Google. I wonder how many are specifically in YouTube.
Probably a lot of them.
I'm no doubt. But it's so weird. Look, I'm used to seeing like congressional aides and that kind of shit. But actual glowies? And they're all over the social media companies.
Yes.
All over them.
If I wanted to create a union with the government and try and keep it on the low, this is a good way to do it.
Yeah. You know what
just hired them in, our trusted safety.
You know what this looks like? It looks like an op.
Oh, it absolutely looks like an op.
It looks like an op. Since
looks like a lot of civil rights violations, too.
Since the 2016 presidential election, Google, Facebook, and Twitter have hired at least 300 plus people formerly employed by the CIA, FBI, etc. Ex-CIA agents are at the head of trust and safety at Google and Facebook. Anybody shocked? Anybody? This is, oh my God. And I just keep hearing Chuck Schumer in my head. If you mess with the intelligence community, they have 6 ways to Sunday to fuck you. He said to, what did he say, to screw you, I think is his exact words.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, what this tells me is that Trump was right to try and remove everybody's clearance when they leave the government.
Abso-fucking-lutely. And you know who one of the biggest preachers for this kind of shit is? Oh shit, I just forgot his name. That was going to be such a great moment, Jack.
In that case, none of us know.
The ex-CIA guy.
Brennan?
Brennan.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of garbage. He never should have had security clearance, let alone have it revoked.
My brain was going to Bannon, and I knew that was wrong. Yeah, Brennan, the ex-head of the CIA who threw a fucking fit, and all of the media was like, how dare you take away this clearance? Why does he need it? He's not head of the CIA anymore.
Yeah, why would you have clearance as a former member of the government? If anything, that's kind of dangerous.
Well, it was funny because what they all said in these news articles was like, hey, it can be lucrative to have that clearance because you might go work for a government contractor, which I guess we're finding out is Meta and Twitter and Google.
Yeah, it sure looks that way.
And once again, I want to know how many are in the mainstream because all they keep talking about is social media, which, by the way, that is important because social media does control a lot, including the narrative of a lot of mainstream media stories. Yeah. I feel like I'm talking really fast today.
Okay.
Huh. Guys, am I talking faster than normal? Am I talking Sargon speeds?
Not quite super speed or anything, but you are talking a little faster than normal.
But yeah, I mean, this why? What do these people bring? And no, I don't drink coffee, Libra. You know what? I am drinking actual Coke, regular, not cocaine, Coca-Cola. So maybe there's more caffeine. I don't know.
Probably.
But anyway, yeah. This looks like an op. And when you look at what happened with Trump got elected largely because of social media presence. And what happens after the 2016 election when we're told by places like Google that we will not let this happen again? We're not going to let this happen again, guys. And remember, when this happens, when that Google meeting happened, for those of you who don't know, there was a meeting of all of Google right after the 2016 election where their CEO and CTO, CFO, all of these guys get up there to give little speeches. And one of them said, we're not going to let this happen. This is before any bullshit about, oh, the Russians interfered. This is just them saying we're not going to let Trump get reelected because he's Trump. And then suddenly you have all of these motherfuckers from intelligence agencies pissed off going into social media. That's a weird coincidence there, Jack.
A little bit.
All of these ex-CIA agents, people who were working for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. And then you got to wonder, why were they so upset about these people losing security clearance? Was it because they couldn't get a job at Boeing, with a new presidential plane, and you need some security clearance? You could have given them clearance for anything they actually needed for the job. Remember, they gave 30-day clearance to people who worked at Twitter right before the election so that they could have top secret information. I don't know why. Nobody's explained that, Jack. Nobody's been out there and be like, yeah, look, the reason these guys needed top secret security so that they could make sure that Bob over there didn't say the election is on Wednesday. It made no sense. But go ahead.
Thank you, Dixon Haraz, for that generous donation. Some douchebag from California was giving me a lip about parking, so I kneecapped him and took his wallet. Here's your half. Oh, thanks, Dixon. Yeah, fuck those Californians. Except for Shady Granny, he's cool.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised by this.
No.
That actually seems a little low to me. But what I'd like to know, and we're never going to find out, is what the communication was between these people. What was the level of communication between the three guys who used to be CIA agents, who were the head of Google's trust and safety, and current CIA agents? What was that conversation throughout this last election, Jack, the 2020 election?
Oh, don't worry. It all happened on some secret website that deletes everything, or some app. So we'll never, ever know, because those records are scrubbed from history forever.
Oh, yeah, they're gone. They're gone. The ones that aren't, though, are over there at Twitter. And they're the ones who've been willing to share so far. And, I'm not a huge Elon fan. I'm not an Elon fanboy. I'm turning into one. I'll be honest with you. But I appreciate what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like right now, he's going after Fauci pretty fucking hard.
Oh, rightfully so.
I pwn all noobs because I rock. Hello. How are you, my friend? Says, what's up, monkey? Thank you for that donation. I don't know what the rest of that says. I'm going to guess it says, you're awesome. I appreciate it. But Jack, the other day we got the Twitter files from COVID, which I've been looking forward to. And I was underwhelmed. I was a little bit underwhelmed by it mostly because they didn't give us the actual information. They didn't show us the receipts, as the kids say these days. No cap.
Yeah.
And Elon responded to that. Not to me, but to the actual thread. It says, what's up, monkey, in Hebrew. Oh, well, what's up? How are you? Elon came out and said there's a whole lot more that's going to be coming out about the COVID stuff with more receipts. And since then, he's been going pretty hard at Fauci. He's the reason that I saw the whole thing about Fauci's wife. He's been responding to threads about Fauci. It's funny, man. It's actually kind of interesting to see. And I do wonder if Mr. Fauci is a little worried right now.
I doubt it. He's got big piles of government money. He's got his retirement all set. No one's going to touch the guy. The Republicans are too big of pussies to do anything because they're just Democrat light that occasionally disagree with them. They're like, okay, we'll just cave in anyway. So he's not in any real danger of anything other than his reputation being tarnished a little. And the media is so in pocket for the Dems, they're going to just go along and they worship Fauci. I've got friends that are mask holes still wearing their fucking face diapers who won't ever think anything bad of Fauci. So maybe his ego will get bruised, but he's not going to be in any real trouble.
Thank you, Alan, for the donation. I appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, Elon said this, much more to the Twitter Files COVID edition than this introductory thread. Follow-up piece to come next week. featuring leading doctors and researchers from Harvard, Stanford, and other institutions. So I'm curious. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. And hi, Alan.
Especially with how he's going after Fauci today. That's I can't wait.
I'd be willing to bet. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'd be willing to bet that Elon was a lot more lefty before all of this because he probably suspected there were some shenanigans, but I don't think he thought it was anywhere near the level that it is. And it's probably got him a little bit jaded.
Perhaps. I wonder if seeing all this has just been like, damn, it's worse than even I thought.
I think it's a lot worse than he thought.
And remember, he gets to see stuff we don't.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of stuff that's really nasty.
Yeah, there's going to be parts of this that actually are still classified. I mean, they gave top secret designation to these people. So there's probably parts of that we don't get to see.
Sadly. Be a shame if anybody at Twitter leaked them.
I was going to say, Elon, you weren't part of the discussion. You just now have control of it. So you could leak everything.
Yeah. Real quickly, though, thank you, Alan, for that donation with no message. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you had a good holiday.
I want to talk about my favorite lolcow, Ted Lieu. Ted Lieu, you fucking piece of shit. He's asked a question, and I can't show it to you because we are on my daytime internet, but I will throw it into chat for anybody who wants to go watch it. He's being asked by that slowly widening chick over there on CNN, Brianna, whatever the hell her name is. He's being asked about when there were tech moguls up in front of Congress and they got time to ask questions. And she says, you brought up a laptop and you looked up Steve Scalise and Steve King. And you showed that King got bad coverage because of the bad shit he did. And Scalise got good coverage. One, that's not a fair thing to do because Steve Scalise got shot. And even the press is like, yeah, we probably shouldn't pick on this guy because it'll look bad for us. Don't think Ted Lieu didn't do that on purpose. Don't think he didn't pick those two names on purpose. But she's like, you asked these questions, or you showed this, but don't you think that you should have probably asked some questions about the way tech is running with their ability to control information and stuff? And he says this, well, I would have liked to, but I only have 5 minutes. And so you chose grandstanding over actual questions.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But then he goes on to say this, and this is a direct quote. I would love to be able to regulate content of speech. The First Amendment prevents me from doing so. He said that out loud. I would love to be able to regulate the content of speech. The First Amendment prevents me from doing so.
It's fucked up, man.
That is a member of Congress. That is the either number 4 or 5, depending on how it ends up breaking down, ranked Democrat in the House of Representatives. I would love to be able to regulate the content of speech.
I imagine that's a lot of members of Congress. They just don't say it out loud like this tard does.
Yeah, most of them aren't this dumb. Most of them, they'll give you some roundabout thing like, well, we got to do something about hate speech, that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But no, I wish I could do it. We just can't. Yeah, that shouldn't be a wish you have as a member of our government, you piece of shit. Why is that what you want? Why do you want to regulate speech? That should have been the follow-up. And unfortunately, I couldn't find the rest of the clip, Jack. But fuck this guy. Ted Lieu's a piece of shit.
Yep.
And for me, at least, it's funny because he says a lot of this stupid shit out loud. Teddy boy, what are you doing? Teddy, do I not make fun of you enough? Seriously. You should not be in Congress when you've said something like that. And
no.
look, I realize he's in a California district, but if you guys don't hammer him on this in 2024, you guys are fucking stupid. They're out there worried about a guy who lied, George Santos, to get into the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the number 4 ranked Democrat in the House is out there talking about he wishes he could control what you say. He's out there wishing he could be a fascist.
Yeah.
Need to up your game on Ted? What do you mean? What do you mean? Do I need to make fun of him more? I'll try. He was caught lying the other day. He's another one who got caught with the kids were dying mostly of COVID. That was Ted.
Yeah, did Elon drag him on that one?
Yep. Elon took a shot at him for that because he was wrong. He's a liar. He just is. And how he's gotten to be the level of power he has, I wish I could explain. Because the guy's a fucking retard. He really is. I am convinced he's had a brain injury in his youth.
Well, it's possible.
You know, I first became aware of Teddy Lou. It was
it in a Dr. Seuss book?
Well, I had seen him before a couple of times, but they allowed him to be part of one of the impeachment teams. And they only let him talk for like 5 minutes. Yeah, he's so fucking dumb. Anyway, let's see. What else do I have on here today? Okay, there's the Santos stuff. So right about here. No, I don't care about that. Yeah, for the record, guys, even though I was off the internet for more than a day, I wasn't sleeping during most of that. So most of that time, you guys were safe. Just saying.
Well, we wouldn't be here having this conversation if we thought you were asleep. We'd all be dead or fighting off super mutants.
Don't worry. When I wake up, I do shows about whatever happened. This might be my favorite part of the timeline right now, Jack. Andrew Tate and Greta Thunberg are fighting. I'm going to say that again. Andrew Tate and Greta Thunberg.
There's so much wrong with the modern day that I don't know. They're going to end up getting married. Just watch.
Yeah, Andrew tweeted at her, "Hey, Greta Thunberg, I have 33 cars. My Bugatti has, I don't care about this, my 2 Ferraris. This is just a start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions." And she tweeted back, "Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com."
That's a pretty good comeback.
That's a really good comeback. So I'm hoping for more. I don't know if this is blown up even more than this, but $10 on Greta pegging Andrew by next year. Probably, man. Now, by next year, do you mean 2023? Because remember, we're only a couple of days till the next year.
No, I think Alex may be onto something. They might hook up, like get together for a debate and just end up getting caught pegging each other. And he's the bottom most of the time.
Andrew Tate and Greta Thunberg. That's fucking wonderful. That I read that this morning and I laughed so goddamn hard. Because who had that on your bingo card? Who? Maybe he'll put her up and make her a cam girl.
No.
Look, there's dirty hippies who would take money from their mom to give it to her.
Well, that Moldy Locks chick wasn't like an OnlyFans person, so I guess anything's possible.
Yeah. There's people out there be like, "Oh, she's legal now?" I think she's legal now. She's legal now? Let me see her naked and dirty.
Ugh.
Do you think she uses like that all-natural soap shit?
Yeah, she has like the Sasquatch soaps, the all-natural ones that make you smell like pine tar and other weird hippie stuff. Except she's got Patchouli brand.
You know what real soap is made out of?
Isn't it like animal fat?
It's animal fat.
Yeah, if you watch Fight Club, it's people fat.
Back in the day, was it Ivory who used to do their commercials? 99.44%. That meant most of it was just a bar of animal fat. Tasty, huh? Apparently, animal fat cleans shit off of humans. It's weird. It feeds our bellies and keeps us clean, Jack.
And sometimes can be used for like cooking or candle wax.
And in a pinch, you could use them for toilet paper if you needed to. The animal skin. I'm just saying. Yeah. All right, let's move along. Don't care about that. No, don't care. Oh, this was sent to me. Matt Jarbo's in a new fight. Tyshawn McGee, thank you. I'm putting David Hogg versus Jack Murphy on my 2023 bingo list. That's actually a good one. I'm going to steal that. I'm going to steal that one.
Yeah. Do you think one of them would pee on the other one for sexual release at the end? Because
yeah,
they're both kind of gay.
David's totally getting peed on. Thank you, Lancelot. To be fair, now she's been used and tossed aside by the left. Becoming a cam girl is the only relevance attention she'll get again. That's true. That's true. And Tate has the ability to help make women famous online. So there you go. Maybe that's what he's doing. He realized, she doesn't have that clout anymore, and he's going to help her get it back by showing her unwashed cootie to the world.
Ugh.
I wouldn't even do research on that one, Jack. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine. Like, I kind of feel bad for her because her parents put her up to a lot of this crap, but it's hard to feel bad for her at the same time.
Do you think her vagina has that same fetal alcohol syndrome that you can see in her eyes?
Yes.
Like her lips are wider apart than they should be?
Probably. And
I'm just wondering.
They smell vaguely of the unwashed masses, and they say things like, "We should be in school.
I should be in school. How dare you?"
She creeps out. How dare you?
Dude, that's a perfect hook. At the end of her, masturbating or getting plowed or whatever, she can look at the camera and go, "How dare you?" before turning it off.
Yes, every single time.
And if she adds in, "I should be in school," there's some weirdos out there who would really pay money for that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if she's wearing like a sailor suit or something.
Oh yeah.
She could hit the
a
whole
Sailor
Asian
Moon
market.
suit.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get to Jarbo real quick. I don't know who this guy is. Robert Burnett.
No
Apparently,
idea.
He works in movies and stuff, and he does a lot of commentary on Star Trek. And
oh God, two Star Trek nerds going at each other. This ought to be good.
Well, no, the weird part is, so apparently he was in a picture with somebody who Matt has decided is a racist. I don't know if the guy's a racist or not. And because of that, Matt accused this guy of being racist. And so this guy's like, well,
he knows somebody that could be maybe possibly racist.
Could be, yeah. And so this guy's like, well, come on my show and talk about it. And Matt was like, yeah, sure, I would, but I can't. I'm watching my kid. Where have we heard that before?
The Boulder Field.
The Boulder Field, yes, indeed. And so Matt kind of backs out of being able to talk about this. And he's this guy says, I'd be willing to come to your house to do a show. And
wow.
Like, oh, that's a weird thing to say. So I'm not really I'm not gonna be talking to him. You pussy ass bitch. Stop calling people racist, you little twat.
He's gonna get sued doing that.
He called me a racist and then said that Satsu only had what I told him to.
Yeah, ironically.
Yeah. I'm the racist, you piece of shit. Yeah, the black guy you hang out with, he only says what you tell him to. No, he doesn't.
I couldn't fucking believe he said that.
I could, because look, this is what Matt does these days. All Matt is about is going out there and trying to get some kind of controversy, because it's the only time he's ever gotten any attention. Going back to the Zoe Quinn days, nobody gave a shit about Matt until Zoe Quinn strikes him down and Medicare makes him an internet meme. Without any of that, Matt is still doing his Polly the polar bear, trying to get attention.
Yeah.
Lancelot, thank you. Robert is friends with Gary of Nerdrotic, who hates the modern woke comics and movies. Is that the one that he was bitching about? Thank you, Lancelot. But was it because of Gary? Because I watched a little bit of the guy of Robert's stream about this, and he's naming off names that he's just going too fast for me to keep up. you know how I am with names and shit, Jack.
Yeah.
And since I didn't know any of these people, they didn't just stick with me. I know he mentioned Nerdrotic several times, but he waits until other people are arguing, then jumps in. Usually nuts. He's such a little bitch. He's such a bitch. Stop calling people racist. If you want to have an argument with them, argue about something they actually said, you little piece of shit. Anyhow, I feel like we do this a lot lately, but we gotta jump into the transgender and drag queen stuff, Jack. Chris Cuomo, who by the way is making a comeback, guys. I don't know if you know this. He's having his own Megyn Kelly rebirth. Have you seen this shit, Jack?
Yeah, isn't he on Newsmax or News Nation? One of the two.
Yeah, one of those where he's Chris Cuomo. Who cares? Well, Tucker did a story about the the drag queen bullshit and them, pushing it on kids. And Chris Cuomo says this: Jackson, Mississippi doesn't have water again. Dozens died in Buffalo from a bomb cyclone, and so many are hurting still. And this is what the right fringe cares about. Yes.
Yeah, it has longer lasting impact. Like those things are tragedies, but they're regular occurrences. The damage done to our culture and the children by these drag queen story hours, way longer term effects.
I really should have put this one on the screen here. We can't watch the video, unfortunately. It's the video I was telling you about with Tucker talking about the drag queen stuff. It's possible to care about more than one thing, but it's telling to me that you think it's fringe to not think kids should have dicks put in their face by guys dressed as hoary women.
Well, I mean, he is a leftist.
Why is that fringe? I don't understand why it's fringe to not want to sexualize kids.
Because the left has been immersed in this for so long, they believe this to be the norm.
I don't know how anybody can see this and think, yeah, that's normal. I really don't. And look, yes, it is tragic. Jackson, Mississippi, for those of you who don't know, I think it was back in July, their whole water system went out. And they finally got it working again. But with the cold snap that just happened, a lot of their pipes burst and they lost power. They didn't lose power. They lost pressure to their water system.
Mm-hmm.
So they're without water again. They'll get it working. And yes, dozens died in Buffalo. Dozens died if you take it across the country. What is it? 30, I think is the last number I saw for how many people died from this fucking storm.
Yeah, it was quite a few. And a lot of those were like car accidents and stuff too.
And it's fucking tragic. It is. However, that doesn't mean things like kids having dicks shoved in their face isn't a bad thing. It doesn't mean we can't look at other stuff. This isn't like if Tucker was like in Siberia today 5 people died from the cold and ignoring the people who died in the States. These are unrelated things, and you can talk about more than one. And Chris, you of all people probably should shut the fuck up about somebody paying attention to one story instead of another. Remember all that shit you pulled with your brother?
Yeah, but you have to remember that the left is comprised largely of what PCU called cause heads. They focus on one thing at a time, and that's their entire life is that one cause. Save the whales, save the sea turtles, the ozone layer.
But I hear you there. But in this case, the only thing that he's actually saying is get rid of Tucker. That's what he's, well, the fringe right. Yeah. Tucker's fringe right. If you look at his economics, Tucker's a fucking commie. He believes in socialist things when it comes to actual public policy, or at least in some of his writings, he's given us that idea. He's right on social issues. He's not fringe about anything, you fucking asshole. So yeah, their cause here is just we need to get rid of Tucker because he doesn't care about what we care about. Your bitch ass was up there making really gay faces at your brother while your brother was killing old people, you fucker. And you never covered that shit.
Why would he want to do that?
You worked at... Go ahead.
Thank you, Keldrick. Breaking news: Cuomo sticks foot in own mouth. Also, monkey checker slabs.
Oh, sorry, I did not get a notification. Thank you so much. Yeah, he worked at CNN where CNN is like, yeah, you can talk nicey nice with your brother, but you're not allowed to cover anything mean about your brother. Go fuck yourself. Thank you, Keldrig. Between David Hogg and Jack Murphy, who's the top, or are they both somehow the bottom? I think they would both take turns being the bottom, and that would be their favorite. I mean, they do the other part, just all right, I'll do you if you'll do me. You know what I mean? That kind of
I
thing.
think it would be a competition where they're both seeing who could be the best power bottom.
Oh yeah. I can take it balls deep. Anyway. But on top of that, this is from a Libs a TikTok post earlier. This is from a school, Jack. Critical thinking. What does it mean when a person is transgender? This is critical thinking. A transgender person strongly believes he or she is the opposite gender of that which is indicated by biological sex. You know, that's not what we're told. We're told we're not allowed to even ask about gender dysphoria because gender dysphoria is not the only thing that identifies somebody as trans, Jack. We've heard that from the medical community.
Yeah. Fucked up.
This isn't critical thinking. This is telling kids what to think. That's different.
Well, you redefine the words all the time now, so why not change what critical thinking means to being a sheep?
What do transgender people generally do to cope in society? Some choose to change their appearance, clothing, and name to match the gender they feel they really are. A few transgender people undergo expensive reconstructive surgery to match their organs with their gender. Except it doesn't actually do that. Jack, I saw a guy the other day asking, what defines a woman? If you can't answer that, just please stay away from people.
Especially children.
But one of the things he said is it boobs and a vagina? Well, you can have surgery and get those. All right, I need to stop right there. When you get fake titties, they do not put mammary tissue in there. You understand that? That means it might look like a breast, but nothing about that breast, whether it's male or female, has changed. You still only have whatever tissue you were born with. You can't give a man female breast. You can make it look like female breast, but it won't make it one. And I don't know if you've ever seen a reconstructed vagina, Jack. You ever seen one of those things?
Yes.
Whoo, doggy.
Yeah. The Learning Channel used to have educational documentaries, and oh God.
Look, there's times you can see a vagina. It's like, oh my God, what happened there? But you still recognize all the parts.
Yeah.
I've never seen one that had a dickhead you could pee out of.
Yeah, it is not a perfected type of surgery yet.
Even if it was, they can't. What they make there is not a vagina. It's a hole that tries to close itself like an axe wound.
Yeah.
By the way,
I
whatever.
think that would be more triggering to dysphoria to constantly have to fight with an opening than it would be to just keep your penis.
Look, if it helps people who are above age, fine.
Yeah, that's your choice.
But let's stop pretending that it actually changes anything, because it doesn't. It's appearance.
It's very cosmetic, and if you don't address the underlying psychological issues, it's not going to help, which is why we hear from so many people that transitioned that it didn't help them, and that's why the suicide rate stays the same.
Let's talk about that for a minute, shall we? There was a study that was done that said 84% of people who feel like they have some kind of gender dysphoria eventually either detransition or never transition in the first place. And you'll hear trans people now say this: there's a study that was debunked. It wasn't debunked. What happened is some people looked at it and go, I don't think that actually shows what you think it shows. One of the things that they did in the study, Jack, is the people that they were following, there's like 48% of them that they could not reconnect with after the original documentation. And they marked them as being detransitioners. I don't know if they are. They don't know if they were, but they declare that means none of them actually detransitioned because you don't know, which is just as bad as saying they all detransitioned.
Yeah.
You take that 50% out. All right, fine. If the original was 84%, that still leaves more than half who did detransition. Thank you, Metal Minister. And suddenly Monk's channel gets an axe wound.
Yeah. Well,
they are preaching this into kids. They're actually teaching this to kids. They're not letting kids understand that this happened. They're pushing it on them.
yeah.
Do you think it's a surprise that there's so many gay and transgender kids these days? Jack, when was the last time you watched a show and there wasn't a gay character?
Oh shit. Easily, I would say probably a decade.
If you go by TV, 1 out of 5 people is gay, at least.
Yeah.
Same with movies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV. I imagine those numbers are probably pretty fucking high by now, though.
Everybody's gay. And you tell kids this. And kids are impressionable. It's why when they're young, they want to be Batman, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And you're telling them this is how most people feel. And they're like, oh my God, maybe I'm trans. Fuck off. Ugh. We all know in reality, 7 out of 5 people are gay now. That's true, Devil's Advocate. That is absolutely true.
Yeah, that doesn't include all their other personalities up front.
It's insane. It's one thing to educate. It is an entirely different thing to brainwash. And that's what's happening. There's no reason for kids to be thinking about this stuff. No reason at all. And they start pushing this shit in young grades. The whole don't say gay bill. Okay, we're not going to talk about this shit to kids until after 3rd grade. It has to be 4th grade and on. And even then, it has to be age appropriate. Like, oh my God, how dare you? Well, why the fuck would you need to talk to a 3rd grader about gayness?
It's a question for the ages, isn't it?
3rd grade. We're talking 8, 9 years old. They're not even in that headspace. You're putting them there.
Like,
Zanwild, thank you so much. Please tell me you saw the TikTok of the trans teen complaining about menstrual cramps.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Dude,
And
hold on. That's in my queue. Hold on. Let me get it. Because if you haven't seen this, I have to at least DM it to you so you can watch it after the show. If we can't watch it live, because
let me finish this though. Zan says, "I hate the world." Thank you so much for the donation. No, I haven't seen that. I have seen articles before that says that it can happen. No, it can't.
No, that's nonsense. You don't have a uterus to cramp up. What are you talking about?
For those of you who don't know, a menstrual cramp comes from the uterus having cramps. That's literally where it comes from. And if you don't have one, it doesn't matter how much estrogen you take, you're not going to have period cramps. You probably need to take a dump. Let's be honest.
Or see a shrink.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, it could be all in their mind, definitely. But yeah, you probably need to poop. That's all. You can get poop cramps.
Oh yeah. Or
need a little more.
Pangs.
You just need a little more fiber in your diet. You'll be okay. Fucking menstrual cramps are tough. Well, I mean, there was that one chick who was teaching trans people how to fake a period. You could fake blood and wear a pad because that's what people are looking for. I just don't understand.
Why would anyone want menstrual cramps? Women don't even want those.
Because reasons. I wish I had an answer for that. I really do. Kids, when they grow up, are going to literally hate the world and everyone in it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get several dozen Hitlers. Yeah, man, we're making some really bad kids out there.
Yeah.
Hey,
This
we're
is
gonna
how you get that sort of behavior.
we're gonna put off learning the fundamentals of math so that we can teach you about transgenders. You know, because you're one.
Well, I mean, we had that article the other day about how they were keeping awards away from kids so that they could make equity. You think that doesn't breed resentment and hatred? They're creating all the racists they think they're fighting, and all
Oh
the
yeah,
sexists and homophobes.
all the nonsense. And stop fucking around with kids. And this is why with Chris Cuomo there, all this stuff's going on, and this is what you're worried about. Yeah, I really am. I'm tired of what you guys are doing to children. Saw this one guy, Jack, who shit. Let me just bring it up. He was one of these people who has a reply that I fucking hate, and I've seen it over and over and over again. Where is it? No. Trying to remember who the original conversation was with. This one, here it is. It's odd how Republicans are all about parents' rights, except for this issue. Then all the Republicans know better than the parents how to raise their children. This is such a dumb fucking argument. It's a really dumb fucking argument because nobody is saying that there should be no such thing as child endangerment. When they're talking about parents' rights, they're talking about things like, hey, I have a right to decide where my child goes to school. I have a right to decide that the library in my child's school should not have pornographic material in it. And they're taking this and go, well, you want them to be able to do that. All right, let me ask you this. Do you think that people on the right are saying that they should be able to put their children in porn? To make actual child porn with their kid? Nobody thinks that. You're just a liar.
Yeah.
This is a straw man argument because nobody's ever been advocating for going out there and actually endangering children when they're talking about parents' rights, you dumb motherfucker. And I fucking hate that argument.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the person? What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh,
The heating
fuck.
pad really tied it all together for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I
I'll
thought.
drop the link in chat if anybody wants to watch it.
Thank you. Yeah, you need to take a dump, dude.
It's not even good acting. Like, that is not how women act. That's how movie characters act. That's not how real people act when they're having menstrual cramps.
HRT is not going to give you menstrual cramps. It might mess with your bowels. You might need to go take a nice laxative.
Yeah, or get Darkside Phil's grandma to scoop out your poop or something.
That wasn't Darkside Phil. That was Wings of Redemption.
That was Wings of Redemption. My bad. Yeah. I get those two guys mixed up a lot.
I mean, they had a similar early career path.
Yeah, that's true. And they're both annoying and stupid. So,
Jesus Christ, man. I've talked about this before. There was a girl I worked with. She didn't, not just the menstrual cramps, she used to get like cysts and stuff.
Ooh.
To where she could barely stand up.
Yeah, that's actual painful stuff.
Oh, you could see the pain on her face. She had a hysterectomy in her 20s because it was so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, she got completely scooped out to get rid of the problem. It wasn't, oh my God, it hurts. It hurt. Why would anybody entertain that?
I don't know. But like I've said before, this is doing more damage to the trans movement of acceptance than anything else. You are creating the resentment with this egomaniac nonsense that these people are doing. You want to be accepted? Filter these fucking weirdos out because they are attention-seeking crybabies and they will destroy everything you've done. That's why the acceptance of all LGBT stuff has been going down is because of all these weirdos and crybabies. You get a bunch of attention-seeking weirdos and then a bunch of pedophiles, and you think people are going to keep liking you? I mean, it's going to destroy everything they've worked on for, 30, 40 years at least?
Mean Gene says some trans person out there is jealous of your former coworker, Monkey. Yeah, I have no doubt. And you know the real tragedy of that? I have never met a person who liked kids more than she did, and she could never have them because of all the problems.
That sucks.
On the plus side, her nieces are the most spoiled children you will ever meet.
Well, I imagine.
Oh, this girl. Oh, man. You know the whole hen thing when a baby comes out? She's the lead hen. She's like there. And yeah, it sucks because she wasn't able to have kids of her own because of all that shit. And these motherfuckers want to make jokes about it.
Of course.
It's what we talked about with the whole trans thing to begin with. You are making fun of dysphoria, and society has decided that that's okay. You are making a mockery of dysphoria. You are wearing dysphoria face. How about that? Will that put it into perspective for you?
Yeah, it's really fucked up how you can. They bitch about people shaming mental illness while they mock it.
Yeah,
makes no sense to me at all. Like you are doing more psychological harm to innocent people because you're making it into a joke, and you are treating them like a joke, and it's disgusting. I worked in mental health for a long time. 5 years, I think that's a long time because it felt like 20. And I saw some of the most horrible shit come through. And to watch these people sit down and make fun of like multiple personality disorders, it's disgusting because the people that suffer with that.
I do want to just take a slightly different tack there. If somebody's making actual jokes, that's one thing. But they mock it by pretend. That motherfucker's pretending to have period cramps.
Yeah, treats it like a complete joke.
Zan says it's when they burst, when the pain really happens. Yeah, Lady Monkey has occasionally gotten the cyst thing, and the first time it ever happened, we took her to the emergency room. Though, yeah, it's a cyst burst. When those happen to her, it's fucking horrible to watch because there's nothing I can do to make it better for her.
Yeah, and women's biology is really fucking complicated, and it sounds horrible. There's so many things that could go wrong. You get all these problems, and every month you decide to like have cramps and shed things. It's gross. Sorry, you guys are really disgusting sometimes, but it sounds horrible. I wouldn't want that.
No. JB says it makes sense when you realize they're dumb. I understand that part. What I don't understand is when we decided we were going to treat it like it's real. When we decided that delusion is real, we should never accept that, ever. What? I didn't see it myself. That's why I didn't call anybody out. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Cryptic, thank you. I get cramps all the time. Every time I eat at Taco Bell. That person didn't tell us what they ate before recording that video. That person didn't even have cramps. I'm sorry. No. Not even, Jack, I've had gas cramps and stuff. That shit fucking hurts and it will put you down.
Yeah. You ever have a colonoscopy? That'll give you some serious fucking cramps. But it's still not menstrual cramps.
I was thinking the other day, and I don't know why it popped into my head because I don't drink water that often. But when I had my colonoscopy, they had me drink this. They had me drink two things. This one little bottle, dark green bottle of shit.
Yeah.
And that stuff cleans you out quick.
Oh yeah, you gotta be near a toilet.
But the other one was this gallon jug that looks like water. And they give you some flavor packets you can put in it. And when you first take it, it's like, that's not bad. By my third drink of it, as soon as it would hit the back of I would vomit. It was the most horrible thing. Like, you got to drink the whole thing. I told him I did, but I didn't. I drank less than half of that shit.
Oh, you got to do it like shots, man. Just pound it back without even thinking about it.
Every time it hit the back of my throat, just horrible vomiting. And I am a full body vomiter. My whole body goes into it. Even my toes are in it. If I get sick in the middle of the night, I wake up the entire house. That's how loud, and my body just rejects it. My wife's like, just relax and let it happen. I'm like, it's not I'm doing it on purpose. It's my body rejecting everything I've done to it recently. How do we end up in a culture where people want to be victims? Because they are celebrated for it. Victims are celebrated. You know, Jack, it used to be that we'd see, this is a great example. And it's one that the Democrats like to talk about a lot these days. Do you know how many people have to have 2 jobs? We used to celebrate people who did that. We used to be like, this guy, he has 3 jobs to put his kids through college. And we'd be like, damn, that dude really cares about his kids. And now we're like, man, nobody should ever have to work more than 1 job. We have the wrong heroes now. Our heroes now are people who are whiny victim bitches instead of the people who go out there and work hard and get shit done.
Well, and look at all the things that go along with that. Not only are they victims that are celebrated, they downplay things that would keep you from being a victim or from recovering as a victim. You're no longer a survivor. You're a perpetual victim. You're not trying to get around obstacles anymore. You're more celebrated for being in front of the obstacles. Why they downplay masculinity so much? Because that overcomes obstacles. It's why they downplay the role of different occupations, including like motherhood, quite honestly. It's all about feeding people's egos and making them feel special. And it's usually done through victim status.
Yeah, it's some weird shit.
They have to constantly resurrect things from the distant past that didn't happen to someone to create victim narratives for groups of people.
Well, JB says it's cool to be raped. We actually saw a woman write a story in the Me Too movement, and she started out by saying, I was so upset that I didn't have a story for Me Too. And then I remembered I did. And she tells a story about like somebody groping her ass one time.
Yeah.
And this is when we're talking about the Me Too movement was being taken seriously, and it was all, everybody got raped. And this bitch is like, I wish I got raped. What? Why?
Yeah. It's disgusting. And the more they play up this victim narrative, the more it enables people being hooked and reliant on other outside agency. You're no longer self-reliant. You have to depend on the government. You have to depend on all these other people because you are so oppressed. You just can't do it on your own because you're too stupid. And you're such a victim. And all that trauma weighs you down. It's disgusting.
Lady Gray says, why the hell would anybody want that? Well, let me relate a story to you. That Helene chick, I forget her last name. She's a detransitioner. And she talks about when she was on Tumblr. And she's on Tumblr, and as a white chick, she was still part of the oppressive class.
Ugh, bitch.
So she thought maybe she was gay. Maybe I'm gay. And she got some positive feedback from that. And from there, instead of maybe I'm actually a boy. And she got positive feedback for that. She was getting negative feedback for being herself. You're one of the oppressors. But as soon as she became the oppressed, positive feedback. That's why people want it. People want positive feedback.
Especially young people.
Yeah. They want to hear that what they're doing is cool. They want to be part of the in-group. Yeah. So it's fucked up. We've made a society where it's better to be a victim.
And we used to be a society where your achievements mattered, your success mattered, your education mattered, things that were important to going out and doing things, being an individual, being a productive, like an inventor, that sort of thing, where the things you did mattered, not sitting around being a whiny little bitch. They have stripped that away from us in less than 40 years. It's amazing.
Sorry, I just looked at the first story you have there. Can you hold on to those for tonight's show?
Yeah, sure.
I need to get something to eat, and I'm gonna see if my satellite will work. I don't know what's wrong with it. When I went to stream the other night, Jack, and it was fucked up again. So I thought, oh, maybe it snowed. I went out the next morning. No, it was clear. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. It's that time of year again.
Like
Heavy
the
cloud
donut
cover.
hole.
Heavy cloud cover can cause a problem, which I don't understand because sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know.
No. See, what it is it's like when you get your insurance, you get the donut hole where you just have to pay out a lot of money for something for no reason. It's
I
that.
guess.
It's that with internet. But real quick, thank you, Cryptic. Last month, I got called a slanty-eyed bastard on a bus by a drunk Mexican. Nobody on that bus batted an eye. Guess I was white adjacent that day. This is funny as hell, but sad that what we've turned into. It really is. It's said that you can claim victim status based on your skin tone or the awful shit that's happened to you. Look, bad shit happens to everybody. You deal with it and you move forward. Standing in place, doing nothing except crying is not productive in any way. And also, getting called a slanty-eyed bastard, that's fucking funny, to be fair. Because if somebody said that to me, I'd have laughed right in their fucking face. It's like, that's the best you've got? Really? Are you trying? Are you trying? Even if the guy's drunk, what are you, fifth grader?
It'd be like calling me an easily sunburned person. Like,
yeah.
Well, you notice the obvious. Fuck off.
Yeah. Does he call Indians Injuns too? Like, get some originality in your insults, man. God.
Who is it? There's a comedian who talks about this, and he talks about how Chinaman is the laziest insult ever.
It really is.
You fucking Chinaman.
I heard somebody say Oriental one time. I'm like, you're calling him a rug?
Right.
What are you doing, man? Try. Just seriously try.
I think it was Mom Brady who was on Politically Incorrect one time, because Oriental used to be a word that was said normally and it was going away because you weren't supposed to say that anymore. And she went, what about Oriental rugs? Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I understand they still call it the Orient.
Yeah.
That's even faded out of favor quite a bit in the last 2 decades or so. But
there's nothing insulting about Oriental.
Really, I would say no, because first of all, Asians are the superior race. But that's why I would be more offended at being white adjacent, because come on.
It's like being called a European as an insult, which, by the way, I've used it that way. If you get mad about that, you're such a pussy. Fucking dirty Europeans.
I call Westerners Occidentals all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, I just don't get it, man. Like, there's no creativity in insults anymore. We used to have to come up with like really weird terms for people.
Oh yeah.
And now they're just tired. Like, I get called a cracker. I'm like, really? That's okay. That's why I liked Alabaster Savage. Frosted uses it all the time. That's great. That's at least like, okay, you spent some time on that one. But you get called Wonder Bread, you're like, dude, Wonder Bread's delicious.
It really is.
Oh, you're telling me I'm delicious? I don't know how to take that. Are you coming on to me? Are we gonna play footsie under the table now? What's happening here? So yeah, it just pisses me off how lazy the culture has become. Insults aren't even good anymore.
Wait, hang on. I got one for you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's this guy I follow. Well, sorry, my cousin follows over on Twitter. His name's Malcolm Flex. I fucking love that name. He said this to somebody. Everything about you lets me know your dad loses sleep thinking about why he didn't just use his last $15 on Plan B for that dirty cashier on her break at rallies.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's a good one. Instead of just saying, your parents should have aborted you. That's a good one. You put some thought into that. I'm a little
jealous of that.
Yeah. That, again, Malcolm Flex over there on Twitter. It's Malcolm Flex. It's Malcolm_Flex 48. Guy's funny as shit.
To be fair, I have seen a couple of really hot checkout girls at like rallies, and
I hear you, but I mean,
like, they're white trash, granted. But I was like, yeah, I'd hit that.
It's like knocking up a carny, man. You don't want to do it.
Yeah, you want to avoid that, but you would still have sex. So yeah, it'd be a little more original. I don't know. It's just so many things are so stupid now because people are so uneducated they can't even come up with good insults. It's tiresome. And it does actually make me mad, like how lazy the insults have become.
I've gotten into some arguments on Twitter on my deleted account, which, by the way, was rejected again, Jack, just before showtime. I had to fill a real quick appeal before I started the show. There were times where I would be putting some thought into these good things, and they'd just come back with, "You stupid." Like, come on, man. Come on. At least steal a good insult. Shit.
Yeah. You're stupid.
Carney girls are great. They're only around about 2 weeks out of the year. Yeah, the problem is they come back next year with a baby that looks like you and a paternity suit.
Yeah, and they've been lovingly used, shall we say. Let's just say their carnival prize has been enjoyed many times.
Yeah, it's all leathery up in there. You got to be careful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up there because I need to go find something to eat.
We're wrapping up on leathery vagina.
Leathery vagina. That's where you should wrap up every time. I'm going to try the satellite after I'm done here. I'm going to go eat, try the satellite. If I can get it running, I'm going to play some Phasmo because I was so looking forward to Phasmo this week and didn't get to do it. Bubba, if you're available, of course, I'll send you a link. Cryptic, thank you so much. Oh, hang on. I got to go over here. But yeah, I'll be playing Phasmo if I can get it done. If I can't get it done, I'm going to go play Wrestling, Jack. I did pick one game. I picked 2K22 WWE wrestling game because I like wrestling games. Cryptic, thank you. You see, I wouldn't insult Alex by telling him a fried chicken joke. He's British. Spotted dick is something he'd be more into. Fair.
Yeah, see? Yeah, you got to tailor your insults to the audience that you're insulting. Otherwise, they're going to look at you like, that doesn't make any sense, dude.
Thank you, Keeverdam. Sent you a DM on Twitter. I doubt that. You probably sent it to my cousin. I'll have him check it out and let me know. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you for all the donations. You guys are so kind to us. Tell your friends, your family, your bitch you hate to come over here, watch the show, and follow and like and all that. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done so already. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I got nothing. My links are in the description.
Twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. If it works, I'll probably be over there in about half an hour. So hope to see you there. And again, I know it's mostly based on my shitty internet, so hopefully it works. And otherwise, we'll see you guys tonight. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
Always glad to be here.
Have a wonderful night. Remember, it is hump day. Get out there and hump, even if the vagina is leathery. Have a good one, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Leathery vagina makes my dick hurt. No.